If you've got a Bible, please open to Psalm 3 and allow me to spend some time as we think through this passage together. Before we read Psalm 3, though, you might notice that the heading in our Bibles tells us that this idea that this psalm remembers a time when David is on the run so that he won't be killed by Absalom. You need to know that Absalom is David's son and that David is the king of Israel. And the son thinks that he knows better than his dad, that he could rule the kingdom far better than David has been ruling the kingdom. And so Absalom has been pushing out against his father. And in 2 Samuel, chapter 15, verse 13, David hears word that the hearts of the people are now with Absalom. And so David, on hearing that, decides to flee. He runs. He doesn't stand up and fight in his own strength. He makes a run for it. As he does, he writes a song on the way, as you do. The song is Psalm 3, a psalm of David, when he fled from his son Absalom. Lord, how many are my foes? How many rise up against me? Many are saying of me, God will not deliver him. But you, Lord, are a shield around me, my glory, the one who lifts my head high. I call out to the Lord and he answers me from his holy mountain. I lie down and sleep. I wake again because the Lord sustains me. I will not fear though 10,000s assail me on every side. Arise, Lord. Deliver me, my God. Strike all my enemies on the jaw. Break the teeth of the wicked. From the Lord comes deliverance. May your blessings be on your people. That's a terrific psalm. I think it's terrific for two main reasons. One, it is incredibly honest. And the other is that it's based on ultimate hope. Just think about honesty for a moment. When you think about David in this situation and you look at the psalm that he writes, what are the emotions that he's feeling? Is he honest with them? He speaks about the terror, feelings of weakness and frailty, perhaps the stupidity of believing in this seemingly powerless God. See, David shows us his heart, this honest reflection on his circumstances, and just how downcast he is. And you get the sense of how downcast he is, how slumped over he is, when in verse 3 you read that it's God who is the one who lifts my head on high. It's a beautiful picture, isn't it? That God reaches down and says, David. See, you only need your head lifted on high if it's not up high already. And David's isn't. This David speaks honestly, revealing how dependent he is upon God in this circumstance. And so that's where the psalm moves. In the middle part of the psalm sings out about God's character and his actions. But you, Lord, remember, you're a shield around me. You're the one who lifts my head. I call out, you answer. I go to sleep, I wake up, and it's all because of you. And even if there are thousands and thousands around me, I'm not afraid. See, David needs to be reminded about the loving kindness and the provision of his God. And I wonder, don't you and I need to be reminded of the loving kindness and the provision of our God and his power and capacity at a time like this? Don't we want to sing with David verse 3, you are a shield around me, Lord. You haven't forgotten that, have you? You haven't forgotten God's loving kindness and his power in Christ and in his resurrection that's taking you from death to life, have you? See, David's honest reflection draws him to the character and the power of God, and that's what ours should do too. Our honesty in these times of our feeling of our frailty, but ultimately drawing us to the power and the capacity of our God. And that ought to give us ultimate hope. From honesty to ultimate hope. See, David is the guy that you think would have all the power and the one who's in total control. He's being, though, now set upon by a threat that he never imagined would come against him. It's his own son and his own people. And David doesn't just muscle up and strike out. He runs to God and he writes a song. And it's a song about how strong his God is, how strong our God is. Maybe you want to write a song today, a kind of psalm to capture what it is that you're feeling, that kind of honestly pours out to God and identifies the threats that you feel around you, the fears that you have, how frail you are, how exposed it seems to be at the moment. And having done that, move and remember the ultimate hope section. Inform and renew your mind about what you know God always to be like. What was true for David, no less true for us. That true deliverance and ultimate hope rests in God alone, established in Christ alone. And we give thanks to him alone. And I think that's today's challenge, isn't it? In the midst of it all, to be thankful and prayerful, calling out to God and asking him, like verse 7, to arise in this day too. Thanks for listening. We'll see you tomorrow when Travis takes us to Psalm 4. Have a great day. God bless.